Everyone always asks us why we climb mountains. Why we willingly walk into danger, freezing temperatures, high altitude, falling rocks, open crevasses, extreme exhaustion. Why would we put ourselves in danger just to stand on a summit? Our goal was to climb both Ixta and Orizaba. These volcanoes are located a few hours' drive outside of Mexico City. First day, I met up with my buddy Carlos, and we decided to explore the city. It's a new place that both of us had never explored before. After walking on foot, we found a local shaman, and he told us that we need to ask the mountain for permission to climb it. Orizaba stands as the highest peak in Mexico and the third highest peak in North America. It's not just a typical hike. That night, we joined up with the rest of our team and began our journey. When you climb at high altitude, you can't just go for it. You need to acclimate to the thin air. Altitude sickness is the real deal. Our first hike got us up to around 14 or 15,000 feet and allowed us to stretch our legs and our lungs at altitude. Most of our team is from sea level, so this wasn't an easy first day. We hiked La Malinche and took in the view, but this is just the beginning. From here, we made our way to Ixta. The name of this giant comes from its 4 individual snow-capped peaks that depict the head, chest, knees, and feet of a sleeping woman. This peak stands at 17,800 feet. There is no easy way up this mountain. Our first day on Ixta was spent relaxing at base camp. We swapped climbing stories and watched Popo erupt in the distance. Day 2, we started the hike up. We threw on our heavy packs, filled with all of our gear, and started towards high camp. Because of the distance we have to travel on Ixta, we need to set up a second camp and make our summit push from there. As the sun dipped lower in the sky, a storm blew in. We made camp just in time to wait out a night of thunder, lightning, and snow. 1 a.m. came sooner than any of us wanted. A true alpine start means you wake up in the middle of the night and start your climb. Mountains have a mind of their own, and weather is constantly changing on the peaks. Everyone was feeling the effects of altitude this morning. Our morning was spent climbing to the ridgeline at around 16,000 feet. From here, it's another 4 hours to the summit. However, in the distance, we saw another storm approaching. We had to make the tough call and turn around and leave Ixta. Puebla. After our defeat on Ixta, we took the day off and explored a new city full of history and culture. We ate delicious food and slept in a real bed. However, it's only one quick day of rest because we had our eyes set on an even bigger goal, Pico De ORIZABA. We left Puebla and headed to a small climbers hostel. It's run by Senor Reyes, and it's the perfect spot for any mountaineer to get ready for the peak ahead. He gave us a quick tour of his old soap factory before we piled it into the back of a truck and started our 2-hour ride to base camp. This road was by far the worst road we've encountered in Mexico. Base camp consists of a small climber's hut and a few sites for tents. We had chicken tacos, which apparently is the second best chicken in the world. Our guides worked hard to make sure we had this chicken from a nearby town. With a full stomach, we popped in our earplugs and got ready for the night ahead. Thunder and lightning crashed down above us, but when we woke up, we realized that Orizaba has granted us permission to climb. There is a fresh blanket of snow on the ground. This means that the glacier will be climbable. Up until today, it's been a very dry season, and there's been multiple fatalities on this glacier. Once on the glacier, we roped up and pushed our way to the summit. When you're climbing, everything seems so much closer than it actually is. It looks like it's right there, but in reality, you're still hours away. Our team stayed strong, and we all pushed and made it to Orizaba's crater. It's an amazing view from up here. 4 of us broke off from the group, with our eyes set on the highest point on Orizaba. This 15-minute hike around the rim felt like hours. Our feet felt like cinder blocks. The freezing wind blew strong, and we stumbled at the high altitude. The air is so thin up here at 18,000 feet. Each step is harder than the last, but we don't stop. We keep pushing. Nothing is gonna hold us back now. There's only a few steps between us and the summit. So why do we climb mountains? You cannot stay on the summit forever. You have to come down again. So why bother in the first place? What is above knows what is below, but what is below does not know what is above. One climbs, one sees. One descends, one sees no longer, but one has seen. There is an art of conducting oneself in the lower regions by the memory of what one saw higher up. When one can no longer see, one can at least still know.